Alright, gonna review Mice and Men Restoring Force. I have let's see, I got the CD copy. Picked it up a couple days ago. It's pretty nice. I ordered the vinyl and I was waiting on it to come in, and I just wanted this copy too, so I just picked it up. I like to have a CD and a vinyl if I can get it. Yeah, so it's pretty neat. Really good track here. Yeah, so artwork's obviously different. It's missing the ampersand, but I mean, I kind of like that logo, but I mean, the ampersand is still, you know, the logo, but it's just kind of weird not seeing it on the cover. Anyway, moving on. The record is a first pressing. It's not gonna focus, but came with a CD also, which I already had one, so that's kind of nice. I have 2 copies, but yeah, you can see it's kind of weird how this is stamped on there, kind of off. If it'll focus, if you can see that. But yeah, Mice and Men Restoring Force. On the back, you just have your standard track listing, which I kind of found it weird, this being a first pressing, that there isn't like a limit on there. I read somewhere that it's limited to 1,000, but it's not written anywhere on the case or the sleeve, as far as I know. And on the inside, you got your album sleeve, and it also came with this sheet here that has the top logo, like that's under the CD in the jewel case, and has, of course, the tracks and the lyrics, and then like this tiny little credits section. And yeah, and this is the CD that came with the album. So 2 copies of that. Onto the record itself. It's a standard black record, even though you can get one actually it's limited to 500, I think, that has a blue and black like sunburst. But you know, this being first pressing, I just ordered it, and I got a better deal on it. So it's very simplistic, you know, side A, side B. Really cool. Sleeve, nothing really to see here. It's just plain black. So yeah, moving on to the album review itself. If you've been a fan of Mice and Men for a while, you're gonna be kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to say put off, but a lot of people are put off. But it's different. It's a lot of people say they're moving into more of a radio friendly. Listen to the whole album. I mean, when I first heard the singles, I was kind of skeptical, and I kind of could see that. But listening to the whole album, it's definitely still a solid metalcore album. It's the band, you know, improving, changing their sound. It does have a lot of nu metal and like hard rock influence, but it's really good all the way through. First time I was skeptical. First few times I was skeptical, didn't know what I thought about it. But all in all, when I listened to it all the way through a few times, I love it. It's a great album. I had to have it, so I picked that up. It's really great. A couple things going on in this album. You've got, you know, your singles. You know, would you still be there? Bones Exposed. You're Not Alone. That are kind of people's first impression, except for Bones Exposed. The other 2 are kind of. I could see why you would think that they would be more of a radio friendly type sound, but they're good songs, you know, solid songs, good musicianship. My favorite thing about this album is the drums, personally. It's very crisp, very hard hitting, very fast drumming, very precise. The drums are just, all in all, very tight. Also, I know Shaylee's not on this record as clean vocalist, but the new vocalist, Aaron Pauley, he's really good, and he really has a lot of great melodies, especially in Glass Hearts, and he takes the lead on Space Enough to Grow, the last song on the track, and it's a really beautiful song. And brings me on the next point. This is mainly your heavier metalcore songs are going to be like Public Service Announcement, Bones Exposed, Glass Hearts, You Make Me Sick. Those are really the heavy, hard songs. And then you've got, you know, your singles, and Bones Exposed was a single too. But you know, I'm talking Feels Like Forever and Not You Make Me Sick, but You're Not Alone, and Would You Still Be There, more your hard rock influenced songs. Also, I can see a definite, almost influence. I don't know if it actually is an influence, but it's a similarity in some of the sounds of how it's produced and how it sounds to Sempiternal by Bring Me the Horizon. And it's not a bad thing, it's just people bring that up, and I can definitely see it in there. And what's kind of cool is on the Flood, the album before this, the last track was on the deluxe edition at least was When You Can't Sleep at Night, and it was led by Shaylee, and it was acoustic, you know, really beautiful song. And on this one, they did kind of the same thing with Space Enough to Grow, with Aaron singing it, taking the lead, and it's really good, you know. I don't know if it tops When You Can't Sleep at Night, excuse me. God, I can't talk tonight. But it's definitely a great song. It's really good. You know, the screams are different. It's no longer the high-pitched wail that you saw a lot of on the Flood and the self-titled album. Austin's really ranging more. It's getting more of a growly, kind of a rock scream, and it also has some heavier, like, you know, deeper sounding, and he can still hit the highs and hold his screams out, and it's just, it seems like he's working on his variety. Everything's great. The guitar works are really heavy. There's even a few solos on here, which is kind of cool. Really good. It's really produced very well. I was skeptical at first, like I said, but I just love the album now, and it's really great, and it's one of the better albums I've heard, actually. And yeah, so I'd highly recommend this album. If you're a fan and you were kind of put off by this album, or you just don't know how you feel about it, I would recommend just go into it with an open mind, to give it a few listens, you know, especially if you listen to it all the way through, because that really helped me to really understand the album, what they're going for, and kind of see how it fits of Mice and Men. And it's definitely a Mice and Men record. Definitely, it's definitely their sound. You can definitely pick it up after you get a feel for the music and the songs. It's yeah, so I'd highly recommend this album. I'd highly recommend that it gets a fair chance, and yeah, so thanks, and tell me what you think about the record and the album in general, in your opinion, if you want, and about the review, how to do, and all that. Yeah, so thank you very much.